Hey Capricorn, this is your March 2023. Let us get into it. Sun, Moon, Rising. Your overall energy is the Jinn. Now, the Jinn are a spiritual bunch. They are originate over in the Middle East. Their history and folklore originates over there. I'm sure you've all heard of the genie, which is the word genie is derived from the word jinn, and the genie is a jinn. So we've just kind of adopted a new word for it. The jinn are known to be a little bit tricky. I'll say that. They are feared by many. But also we've made them into childhood amicable characters in Disney movies. So, and not all of them, from what if you've ever been interested in the jinn, there was an author, her name was Rosemary Ellen Guiley, and she passed away in a couple years ago, but she was an occult researcher and author, and she's done some extensive work on the jinn, and research on the jinn. So if you're ever interested in finding out more about them, you can look into her and look into them. But in terms of the card itself, it talks about choices and service and things we don't understand, and the wildness, and the wildness aspect, I would say, is the jinn are said to be made of smokeless fire. That's how they were created in the universe. So it's a very interesting card to get, and I don't get it very often either. So decisions, choices, service, enigma, questions you may have. Something is being revealed to you that is kind of almost spiritual in nature, or supernatural, maybe this one period. All right, let's get into it. So what's helping or hindering you? You have some kind of offer or advancement that's coming towards you, and it seems like you're busy currently tending to your garden of what you've been achieving, what you've achieved, what you've collected. There may be an offer in regards to this, either to get to you personally in a romantic sense, or to maybe it's maybe a kind word or gesture, or some sort of, it's not the most thought through, maybe it's kind of childlike. So there could be somebody who's a little bit more immature that is interested in what you're doing, or how you've gotten to where you're at in the past. It seems that you were suffering in silence, or someone was suffering in silence about something. There's this lack mentality. There might have been an actual lack of physical resources. And so there was a struggle. There was conflict within the material realm of your life or someone else's life. And the High Priestess is all-seeing, right? She's wise. She holds I believe it's the Torah in her hands. She knows the divine secrets, right? She's connected to the divine. And there's this peacefulness and calmness to her. She sees beyond the veil. She is also the witch, right? She's the kind of representation of the wise woman, the cunning woman, the witch. She also can she has the cross upon her, and it isn't the cross of the Christian cross, right? It's the cross of the elements, right? Of the wheel of the year she wears. I believe there's something else to it too, but I forget what the breakdown of the card is. It's been a long time since I've looked into all of the Kabbalistic symbology within them. But she has pomegranates above her. And the pomegranates represent, I believe, something to do with the underworld, a doorway to another world, right? The veil. And I don't know if you've heard the story of Persephone and Hades, and how I believe Persephone ate a pomegranate that was offered to her after Hades had kidnapped her and brought her down to the underworld. And that is what made her stuck there. And Demeter, Persephone's mother, Demeter was the goddess of spring, right? She was looking for Persephone and mourned her, and that's why we have winter, right? The spring the nice warm weather goes cold and dark, and we have winter until the deal was that Persephone would come back up and she would visit with her mother part of the year so that she would not be lonely. During that time, during that story, the happenings of that story, when Demeter is first looking for Persephone, she doesn't know where she is. I believe Hecate helps her find, maybe Hecate helps Demeter find Persephone or know where Persephone is, or Hecate guides Persephone from the underworld when it's time for spring again and brings her up to the surface. And so I believe the representation for me in this card is the goddess Hecate, and she is the goddess of many things because she's been around for a very long time, but she's the goddess of witches. And so I see this wise woman here. She can travel between the world. She sits between this reality and another dimension, right? And she has this ability to see things differently and see all that there is that is unseen. So there might have been a time when you were troubled, Capricorn, in financial matters, and you had to use your intuition in order to get you out of a situation that was really challenging. And that's all you had was your intuition. And it seemed like it was a powerful, your intuition is very powerful in the past. And it's led you to a place where there was many blessings being coming into your life that you were able to feel like you could manifest again and get more comfortable. And maybe we're offered some love, okay? Some offer of love. Now, this could be someone offering love to you, or some kind of genuine offer of affection or a compliment or something about what you've been doing or how far you've come in some regard. What you're thinking about. And just to reiterate about the jinn, it's the high priestess, she communes with all spirits, right? Because she's wise, she knows how to do these things. So it's as if a wish was granted by the universe in order to get you where you are today in the current moment, in the present. Okay. Now we are looking at what you're aware of and what you're thinking about. So there's some formal communing, formal there's a creation of stability. We go from the Two of Pentacles to the Three. But there's a unionization as well. There's like a union of, and a formality. There's some kind of, not pilgrimage, what is the word I am looking for? A milestone, but it's a formal, shared, like, the Three of Pentacles is like a coming of age almost, a rite. It's some sort of formality or ritual that's based in community. Okay, so there's a sharing of a special moment of some kind, and it's not necessarily a celebration. It's more practical in its approach. So it's also a showcasing of what you are capable of. You've taken the pentacle, you've made it into two, which has been a little bit of a juggle. You've been trying to master your material world. And then at the three, you're able to have something to show for it and get the opinions of others or the input of others. Okay, so it seems like you're looking to, or you're aware of, or you're thinking of moving out of the juggling aspect of maybe the difficult, because although the Two of Pentacles is kind of juggling things while, you know, robbing Peter to pay Paul kind of situation, and trying to keep things afloat when things are not as smooth as you'd like them to be, right? But this person seems unbothered in this photo, in this picture, because they're focused on what they're doing, and so there is they're creating their own balance, their own harmony. Okay, they're focused on what they need to be focused on, and it seems like you're either impulsively, there's an impulse to be drawn to community. So something you've been doing by yourself is now you having an instinctual or an impulsivity to bring what you know or what you have to a community, or to be presented and be a part of something other than yourself. There's a sharing. of resources with the Three of Pentacles, but not in the same way as the Six. It's more of, this is what I can bring to the table, and this is what you can bring to the table, and look what we have when we put it all together. We form a societal structure of some kind, an organization of some kind. There is something along those lines that you're thinking about. Looking for maybe more resources and finding that within a community. What you're not aware of is you're going through a great rebirth this time, or other people are. There's some information or news that's going to be coming in from somebody who's maybe a bit younger than you, might be a little bit immature. Somebody might be angry that somebody's walking away from a certain situation, or has taken action to go after what they love or what they want. And it's almost as if there is maybe a little slight bit of jealousy here, or envy. The Page of Swords can be kind of the aggressor slightly, like a little bit of their communication style is a bit immature. They could be kind of fresh, or so but and there's also a Judgment again. We have Judgment twice. So this is a major psychological rebirth. Like you're not thinking the way you used to when you were younger, or your mind has matured in some sort of way, and now you are going after what you love, or taking action on the things that you love, putting yourself out there in a new way that you love, and you're feeling very pulled to do this. It's as if someone is guiding you in spirit. There is this new beginning, this victory that comes from this new idea, this new way of thinking that comes out of this. I hear crown of success. There's success here in something that has to do with that you're not aware of. If this is a situation that had to do with love, maybe there was a bit of an immaturity, but somebody's or yourself has been woken up to maturing, and has a new way of outlook on things, and they've changed for the better. There's success with that. How you're supposed to move forward. What is your advice? The past. Remembering the past. In an unbiased way. Really looking at the past with a new lens. Really getting clear about the memories you hold, and the fondness for those memories. It's also missing somebody. The Six of Cups and the Two of Swords. It's like you're at a distance from them, and you can't be with them. but you're able to somehow feel them in spirit, or know that they're with you, or you're with them. You're able to be with them even though you're not together. So there's something that's I was just talking about the other day. It's There is something that you can, an opal. Okay. So an opal, I believe it's opal. You can give an opal to a friend, and there was something that I was looking into, and it was like there was these two things, and you could keep them together, and then when you knew you were going to be apart from somebody, it's as if you could feel them with you, or that they're with you when you break apart, or you separate. You take one half each or something like that. I can't remember exactly what I was talking about or what I was looking into. I'm sorry. But anyway, so it's like at a distance, you remember somebody fondly. You can almost psychically feel them when they're maybe suffering in silence. Maybe that's what it was. It's somebody else, or you just know it warms your heart. It's also kind of maybe slightly painful to think about the past because you miss this person, but it's also, I'm getting the aspect of like being able to be there with them in a psychic way, even though you're not there. But also to look at the past without rose tinted glasses on, almost, to really get clear about why things were the way they were, and to remember things in a positive light, but also get the 360 view, step out of your own shoes and see things the way they were. You might be holding on to memories of the past, or fondness of the past, and you're unable to make a decision because of how connected, or how it's an inability to let go of the past. It's not wanting to make a decision about, for example, throwing out some old photos of a boyfriend or girlfriend that you've had, or the inability to let go of a childhood toy that you've had your whole life. Um, there's like a cherished, being torn about a cherished thing, a cherished memory even, that you're torn about. Other people in this situation, someone else in your life might be moving on from a very challenging time, and they're coming into a more peaceful existence. They might have had to move countries, move cities, move states, in order to do so. Justice comes in for this person. Balance and fairness in their life comes in. This person might be a Libra, a Scorpio, a Capricorn, a Taurus, a Leo, Gemini. That's a lot of them, but you know what I mean. There's balance and the completion of a cycle. So this could be a contract to move ends, or a lease ends and somebody moves. Somebody might pay off their car, and this creates more balance, and they're able to start something new, or get a new car, Um, this also has to do with traveling abroad and getting the paperwork in order to do that. So somebody might be planning a trip. And this is like something that would be governed by the powers of Libra. So Libra's judicial side. This can be anything to do with court as well. There might have been a court case someone else in your life was going through that's now finally ended, and they're able to move on with their life and have a whole new beginning, a whole new chapter in all areas. This also can be that you've having fond memories of the past and not wanting to let go of those memories. Although the Four of Pentacles isn't here, the Two of Swords is like a mulling over, really not wanting to leave the past behind, not wanting to leave the past behind, the indecision over some memories of the past, or remembering an indecision of the past. And this is about somebody moving forward after having a difficult time, maybe. This can also represent marriage or a contract that terminates something, so a lease, anything to do with, I mean, somebody, it could be a lover of the past as well, that maybe is getting married. I don't have the lovers here, so I don't know what that would be. If this is about you, other people are seeing you as having left a really difficult time, and that all is right now, and you get a new beginning, and that's what they're seeing. They're seeing like karmic justice coming through for you and balancing out all the troubles of the past, okay? But there's something that you're torn up about, that you can't make a decision about because of something from the past. You feel like if you let go of the past, it's something dear to your heart, maybe a gift that you were given in the past, and that's also here. There's a gift here. This can also be a pet as well. Something that you were given in the past may come up for, you might be moving and you might not be able to take it with you for whatever reason. But I see this as more of a mulling over a past love, or a mulling over I just noticed this guy in the background holding a staff. It's like a ghost. It's kind of like being haunted by the memory. It's like haunting. It's like she can see into the past with better clarity now that her vision is blocked. She's trying to learn from the past in order to make a decision as well. That's your advice. You're learning from the past in order to make a decision. Being kind has put you in an impasse. It also could be that too. what you're hoping for. You're hoping that the wheel will turn, that the events will change your life. The wheel will turn and events will change in your life. And you're hoping to start a new chapter where you can learn something new, begin a new path. Whoa, that was spooky. Hold on. I think it may be overheated and that's why I shut off. Yeah. Well, we'll give it a minute, guys. I don't want it to overheat. So, you hope for the best. Maybe it's like a bittersweet kind of situation where things have changed and now you're ready to go to the next step, and you're not ready to let go of all of the things of the past that have really you've held dear to your heart, that you're remembering the kindness of others, and unable to make a decision that's maybe best for you at this time. But that's it. Your guidance is to remember the kindness of the past, or the tenderness, or the sensualness of the past, and kind of gain clarity on that, so you're able to make a decision about what's coming up in your life. You've maybe closed yourself off to the past as well in order to protect your heart. That's another way this could go. Others saw you as leaving behind something that was more difficult, and going into a more fair situation that's leading you to complete something, to a new chapter of your life. And now you hope for the best, and you're willing to learn from what the universe gives you. You're willing to study the cycles. So if you were into astrology or any kind of cyclical, like the moon, witchcraft, divination, anything where you study the patterns of something, this could be what you hope to do. You hope to understand the patterns of how things work in the universe, or you hope to at least gain something monetarily after a time of troubles, that things turn in your favor, that you're able to start over again with something. Maybe not all that you used to have, but something. Maybe start a new kind of, go to school, because this can also have to do with school. You could be waiting for the time to go to school. Now, in the future, I see you being disappointed about something emotionally that's not kind of panned out the way you wanted it to. And there's some sort of illusion around this, or confusion around this, because seems like there's been so many opportunities, and something has been lost too. You might have moved away and lost friends, because I have the moving card. I mean, it would have been the past. Maybe you felt alone. That's what the Five of Pentacles is. And you've been very quiet in your solitude, alone. And now we have the moving and the balancing and changing of the guard, the tides. This is the pull of the moon, the gravitational pull of the moon. The tides are in the background. It talks about the influence that the cycles of life have over us, and how we can work with that energy to make decisions when we don't have the answers to our questions, okay? A past that maybe has some gaps, not remembering certain things from your childhood, or wanting to hold on to them forever, but knowing that you can't remember everything. This is also a healing of childhood wounds, going back and doing some type of regression work, or childhood healing, child wounds healing. But for some reason in the future, you're disappointed about something. And maybe somebody, and because the Three Cups that are spilled, I always think of that as the Three of Cups, the friends. So you might have lost some friends from a moving away, or people growing apart. And there is the Two Cups standing behind him, right? So he has love. So there's people there that are in your court, that love you. You may have a relationship, a significant other that loves you, but I don't think that that the people that you picked as friends, or the opportunities that brought you emotional fulfillment before, maybe you didn't know what was inside those cups really for a while, and then you realize it. That it wasn't as what you thought it was. There was some sort of disappointment. There was oh, this isn't what I thought it was type thing. However, there was many other options, so there's still hope that you could find a cup that emotionally fulfills you again, whether that's friends, or plug it in, do the Mad Lib thing. Something that you love, something that you care about, you emotionally are connected to. I do see following in your finale over here. It seems as if there was like a battle, like some kind of fight within the family. Somebody didn't play fair in the family. There was an argument or a battle of egos. There was conflict, strife, very tumultuous. Or getting to the point of this legacy that you've been trying to build has been really challenging. And you've been kind of confused as to how to move forward, okay? So you might not have 10 cups, right? Because it seems like you've got 7 cups stashed over here. And then you had 3 spill, so you don't have the 10. And now you have 2 behind you, so that's the 9, right? So that's wish fulfillment. 9 cups are wish fulfillment. And over here we have the Jinn. The Jinn speaks of the legend of the Jinn, the genie. You get 3 wishes, right? Well, you used up all your wishes. You have no more wishes. But behind you, you still have love, right? You still have something didn't go the way you wanted it to, and you feel like you used up all of your opportunities, the doors, the ability to go forward. But there's still hope. And it looks like somebody who's been in this war, through this war, over here, they're watching you as you sob, as you're like in despair over what's happened or what you've been fooled, in a sense. You feel tricked by something. It's as if you're part of that picture, like somebody in the family or somebody that's in the work or career sector defeated you in some sort of way, and they're seeming a little bit smug about it, but this loss is an illusion. What seems like is lost is actually a win. So it's like a win that ends up being so much better, because it's as if you're worried about 3 cups spilling, and then there's guys who just got beat up and their swords have been taken. So he's got 3 swords, you've got 3 cups spilled. I also see you needing to be aware of the other options in your life and kind of seize the moment, because somebody else will try to seize, somebody else will if you don't. There's some sort of competition here and a battle of wills, and it ends up leading to a legacy. And there's compassion for the people that have been through this battle, or there's this pouring out of emotion, there's this immersing of one's emotions, really feeling feelings, really. So she's a mother of the tarot, right? There's 4 of them, plus the Empress, which is the epitome of all 4 queens. She's the one that's deeply emotional and compassionate, right? And she's super psychic. That's the other thing, there's this heavy psychic energy. You knew it would be okay. You struggled. You fought. You might have lost some over the years. It's like you lost the battle, but then win the war. Through losing something, you actually gain more. And you kind of know. And with the 10 of Pentacles and the Wheel of Fortune nearby, it's a pretty big windfall. And I have Justice, I have the World. I mean, this is all really great stuff. So I'm going to walk through the houses now, because I do this as well. It's a little different, so I'll give you something extra. You yourself might be a lot more flirty during the month of March. Your finances, you'll be feeling more financially independent. You'll value time with your pets, your animals, those you care for. Um, Doing your own hobbies on your own as well. You might put some money into some hobbies this month. You'll be communicating with a group of people, support group, an organization of some kind, that you'll be excited to kind of, maybe a little bit nervous. There might be a lot going on there. Um, there might be crafts or something that you do together. Your home life, you'll be getting a lot of phone calls at home. There'll be a lot of just waking up early, um, maybe some disturbances. Some of you might actually be able to revive a plant that you've killed. You bring it back. Um, Grumpy in the morning. Nobody likes to wake up early. I don't. Your romantic life might be a little bit cold and quiet. Um, I think that's just because at home I mean, you're out more, you're doing more outside, so it's not like you're home very often. Um, you might be disappointed about something to do with your day to day routine or work opportunities. You might feel like there was a great work opportunity and you went for it and it didn't turn out to be what you wanted it to be, or you didn't get the project at work that you wanted, or you got it and you didn't like how you didn't understand what it really was, and now it's disappointing. Or you might feel like a friend of yours might move away, that you don't see them much anymore in your day-to-day life. Something's disappointing though that's been confusing, or you're confused. You might have some depression as well in March, so just know that, and you might not know where it's coming from, so just keep an eye out for that. Your seventh house. Relationships from the past will be thought of fondly. You may actually get a picture of somebody or find a picture of somebody from your past and want to print it up and put it in a frame, have something to hold on to. I'm getting kimono. I don't know why. If you have any Japanese relatives or ancestors or friends, or you dressed up in a kimono once, I mean, there's something here about that for some reason. Or samurai, something like that. Something comes in like that. It could be a gift as well. It's a surprise that comes from a partner, a lover, or a work partner. You might have to move to the eighth house, shared resources, sex, drugs, rock and roll, the occult. There's something that's ending with a contract there's some maybe financial troubles that you got yourself into, and that something is ending legally or contractually. There's a completion of a cycle. So, you know, or anything court related or anything like that will end. It will be renewed in some sort of way. There might be a renewal or a refinancing or something. I don't know much about that stuff, but there is some sort of, also this has to do with any kind of surgical procedure. um, Turns out well, turns out balanced, everything's good. um, if you're needing assistance with moving, you're going to get the help that you need. Or if you need assisted housing or something, this seems like it will go well. There's something here with contractual things moving and completing a cycle. Starting over anew. You're going to be interested in learning about another culture this month. You'll be taking time to learn on your own, maybe, or in school, about some sort of spiritual philosophies or ancient spiritual practices. It very well could be having to do with the Middle East, or Mesopotamian culture, or Judeo-Christian like folklore legends. You'll be learning something that you find fascinating. You might have a personal investments in whatever you're learning, like not investments, but you might actually be from the Middle East, or you might have ancestry from the place that you're learning about. 10th house of career, somebody could try to one up you. And try to win at all costs. So just keep that in mind. This might cause a conflict, so just be careful with situations like that. Sometimes it's better to let people try and win than, or think they've won, than to go all out in battle and lose in a situation like that. Just be careful with that. I see maybe you're the one that wins, but it's all about how you play, right? Are you playing fair? Are you playing dirty? You might actually feel bad for somebody who ended up in the sidelines in that one, but it seems like there's some competition. There also could be some competition in your friend circle, so you may actually wanted a job or wanted a position at work and your friend also wanted it and you got it, and they're feeling a little bit disappointed, or vice versa, whatever. It seems like your friend, hopefully you don't lose a friend over this, but this could cause some tension, so just be careful about how you handle it. In terms of your spiritual house, your hidden enemies, I feel like you're very connected to your ancestors. Your ancestry from the spiritual side of things. Like, you might be learning about your ancestors, and that's what's bringing you closer to them, or you might feel more connected to them. You might actually have some psychic experiences with this, or spiritual meeting your spiritual family in a dream or in a vision, or some sort of scrying if you're into that sort of thing. Um, and with the scrying and the jinn, there's many people that like work with seeing spirits in scrying, right? So that could be something else you're also learning about or getting into. All right, Capricorn. I think I'm going to end it here. I hope you enjoyed your reading. It looks like it's going to be a really good month, even though there are some hiccups. Maybe some nostalgia from the past, and it's a little tender, sweet. Maybe there was some challenges in the past, and that's what you're being reminded of. But I think you're being reminded of the really good times too. And so letting go of all of the past might be difficult, because there are some happy moments and tender sweetness that's, you know, that's there as well. So remembering the good times. You're very psychic. You're going to have some psychic and spiritual kind of vibes going on. I won't scare you and say, because some people do not like this sort of thing. I won't scare you and say, like, you'll have a spiritual experience necessarily. You may feel very connected to your ancestors, however, and your ancestors are your family, right? So, nothing to be worried about. Don't talk to the jinn unless you really want to. I think that maybe if it's in your ancestry, then, and you're a witch and you work with spirits, that's fine. I don't recommend just anybody work with spirits until they've acquainted themselves with them first. I just heard a pop in my kitchen, darling. And on that note, yeah, somebody from the past that you missed that might have been sick and passed away may actually come and speak to you. I just get that from the little ghost guy and the nostalgia card, the Six of Cups card. Not being able to see them, but being able to feel them, their presence. You might get a sign in the form of a bird or an animal, that you know is like, you have the chills and you know is like a loved one that's being like, hey, I'm still here and I'm thinking of you and you're not alone. Any opportunities that you're disappointed in, that you've picked, you've made a choice and it didn't turn out the way you wanted it to, or you felt like it wasn't what you wanted it to. It's also shopping, so just be careful when you go shopping, that you like feel things out a little. You get, look things up online first. Something may be a lot cheaper made than you thought it was, or something may be a different color or just not at all what it looks like in the picture. So just heads up on that one. Family could have a little bit of fighting going on over something. There could have been an argument in the family that made someone, or something somebody did made someone really upset in the family, or and there's some kind of I don't know, if there's an argument in the family, someone might win that battle and unfortunately like lose that person to the argument. So just be careful with that. I don't want anyone to it's like no regrets type thing, or don't have them to begin with, and then you don't have to worry about not regretting. But there's a great deal of abundance that's coming in, and it's coming from your ancestors. You might be getting some skills as well, inheriting skills, inheriting money. I can see that too, but everyone says that on tarot. So, I won't be one of those people. Sometimes I am. Because then you get your hopes up, right? You don't get your money and then you're sad. It doesn't look like you won't be having money, though. I see progression. I see the 5 of Pentacles in the past. In the present, there's the 9 of Pentacles. And in the future, there's the 10 of Pentacles. So you achieve a legacy. You achieve stability. It's been a long fight. You've lost a lot of battles. You've won a lot of battles. It's like your journey from Papa to Princess, darling. All right, Capricorn. Have a good one. Happy March. And I will talk to you in April. Bye.